Good morning, and welcome to your AI Daily Press morning podcast for October 10, 2025. We're bringing you a quick rundown of the top stories from around the world. First up, we have a critical development in international trade and geopolitics. China has announced stricter export controls on rare earth elements, which could send shockwaves across the globe. This move is seen as a strategic attempt to exert leverage in international trade negotiations, particularly with the United States. In other news, France is grappling with a deepening political storm. President Emmanuel Macron is set to name a new prime minister shortly, amidst growing calls for him to dissolve the National Assembly and call for new elections. The situation is being closely watched by European leaders, who are concerned about the potential impact of France's political instability on the wider EU. We also reported on a significant development in the Middle East peace process, with Israel and Palestine engaging in talks aimed at resolving their long-standing conflict. And in the world of technology, we looked at the growing trend of deep-sea mining for rare earth elements, which could potentially reduce the world's dependence on Chinese supplies. Finally, we want to hear from you. Share your thoughts on these stories and how you think they'll impact the world. You can reach us on social media or through our website. That's all for now. Thank you for tuning in to the AI Daily Press Morning Podcast. We'll be back with more news and analysis throughout the day. Stay informed, and we'll see you soon. Now, for the latest in social and cultural news, here is Barbara Waters.
Walter, and Nanshall and know it's right now. Firstly, we reported on the proposed law in Ireland that could potentially impact international relations. The law aims to boycott goods from Israeli settlements, and we discussed its potential implications on global trade and diplomacy. Secondly, we delved into the controversy surrounding Colombia's president, Gustavo Petro's allegation that a boat recently struck by the U.S. was carrying Colombian citizens. We examined the complexities of the situation, including the U.S. designation of cartels as terrorist organizations and the potential for civilian casualties. Lastly, we discussed the deployment of Texas National Guard troops to Chicago, which has raised questions about federal power, state sovereignty, and the role of the military in maintaining public order. Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker and Mayor Brandon Johnson have filed a lawsuit challenging the Trump administration's deployment, citing concerns about escalation and community relations. These stories highlight the complexities and challenges of international relations, diplomacy, and governance. We'll continue to monitor these developments and provide updates as more information becomes available. Now, for the latest in business and finance, here is Louis Riskweiser.
Thank you, Barbara. I'm Louis, your host. We've got a quick rundown of the top stories from our recent coverage. First off, we've been following the U.S. government shutdown, which has now entered its second week. The ongoing stalemate is having far-reaching implications on the global economy, with potential stagnation in GDP growth and a decline in the value of the U.S. dollar. In other news, the European economy is facing its own set of challenges, including an unexpected decline in German factory orders and political turmoil in France. Meanwhile, precious metals like gold and silver have seen mixed results amidst the uncertainty. And in a major development in the tech industry, CoreWeave, a leading AI cloud platform, has acquired Monolith AI, a London-based startup specializing in applying machine learning to complex physics and engineering problems. This strategic move is poised to redefine how AI is utilized on the factory floor, enabling businesses to streamline product development cycles, reduce costs, and increase efficiency. We'll be keeping a close eye on these stories as they continue to unfold. For more in-depth analysis and expert insights, be sure to check out our upcoming feature on the intersection of AI and industrial manufacturing. Share your thoughts with us on social media using the hashtag AIDailyPress. That's all for now. Stay informed, and we'll catch you up on the latest developments throughout the day. Now for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Louis. Firstly, new discoveries are being made about our neighboring planets, with a recent finding suggesting that even inhospitable worlds can hold surprises. We explored how Australia is poised to play a more significant role in the global space race, with experts calling for increased investment and a comprehensive national strategy. In the realm of horse racing, we analyzed the upcoming events, focusing on talented horses like Belvedere Boys, Altercation, and Super Sugoi. Our expert analysis highlights their impressive skills and strategies, making them top contenders in their respective categories. Lastly, Australia's aspirations in space are taking shape, with a growing recognition of the need for a coordinated national strategy to seize opportunities in the industry. Stay curious, keep exploring, and join us throughout the day for more in-depth coverage of these fascinating stories. That's all for now. Thank you for tuning in to the AI Daily Press Morning Podcast. We'll see you tomorrow. Now for the latest in sports, here is Howard Closewell.
Thank you, Carl. Firstly, we took a closer look at the Philadelphia Eagles quarterback situation, but then shifted our focus to the Cleveland Browns, where a surprising decision has left many questioning the team's plans for young signal caller Shedeur Sanders. The Browns' non-committal stance on the backup quarterback position has sparked debate, with some arguing that Sanders deserves a fair shot to prove himself. In other news, we highlighted the exciting world of Oklahoma high school fall baseball state tournaments, where classes 2A, A, and B are vying for top honors. These young athletes have demonstrated remarkable skill and dedication, making for thrilling matchups. We'll continue to follow their journey and provide updates on the championship games. Lastly, we touched on the situation with the Philadelphia Eagles, but then moved on to discuss the complexities of professional sports, where athletes are often faced with uncertainty and tough decisions. As we navigate these storylines, it's essential to remember that athletes are human beings with aspirations, hopes, and dreams. That's all for now. Now for the latest in travel and human interest, here is Charles Currell.
Thank you, Howard. Firstly, we featured a story about the Phillips family in New Zealand who were affected by a tragic event involving their son Tom. We explored the importance of compassion, understanding, and empathy in navigating complex relationships and difficult situations. Next, we reported on a heartwarming story from Ireland, where a community came together to support the McEnroe family after the loss of their young son Theo in a road traffic accident. We saw an outpouring of emotion and support from the community, reminding us of the importance of human connection during times of tragedy. Lastly, we didn't have a chance to summarize our first story, which was about the connection between people and their environment, featuring a unique cultural event in Ireland that showcased the beauty of everyday life and the importance of community. These stories remind us of the resilience and kindness of humanity, even in the face of adversity. As we start our day, let's take a moment to appreciate the world around us and the people who make it special. Thank you for joining me on this morning's podcast. We'll be back with more news and stories throughout the day. Until then, good morning. Now for the latest in fashion and entertainment, here is Joan Streams.
Thank you, Charles. I'm your host, Joan. We've got a quick recap of the latest news from the world of entertainment. First up, we took a look at the newest releases on Netflix, featuring some exciting titles that are making waves globally. From action-packed blockbusters to thought-provoking documentaries, there's something for everyone on the platform right now. We also dove into the inspiring story of Victoria Beckham, who's built a fashion empire through hard work and determination. Her documentary series is a must-see for anyone interested in fashion or entrepreneurship. And in a thrilling development, the Indian film industry is taking over Netflix. We highlighted 4 Indian films and shows that have made it to the top 10 most watched non-English content on the platform. It's clear that audiences are loving the diverse range of stories and talent coming out of India right now. That's all for today's morning podcast, folks. Tune in later for more in-depth coverage of these stories and other exciting developments from the world of entertainment. Thanks for listening, and we'll catch you later on the AI Daily Press. Now for the latest in nature and environment, here is David Atanacher.
Thank you, Joan. Firstly, a study revealed a staggering loss of mountain vegetated landscapes globally, threatening biodiversity conservation and ecosystem services. The research highlights the need for urgent action to protect and restore these critical ecosystems. Secondly, we exposed the shocking scale of wildlife trafficking, with the seizure of over 3 metric tons of pangolin scales and other rare items from 2 wooden fishing boats traveling from Indonesia to Vietnam. This incident underscores the devastating impact of human greed on our planet's biodiversity and the need for continued efforts to combat wildlife crime. Lastly, we discussed a disturbing trend in the Amazon, where a study found that the world has witnessed an unprecedented decline in mountainous regions covered by vegetation driven by climate change, deforestation, urbanization, and agricultural expansion. The consequences of this loss are far-reaching, threatening the delicate balance of ecosystems and the rich biodiversity that these areas support. These stories serve as a reminder of the importance of protecting our planet's precious biodiversity and the need for collective action to address the challenges of climate change, conservation, and sustainable development. We'll continue to bring you in-depth coverage of these critical issues and explore solutions to create a more sustainable future. Stay informed. And thank you for tuning in to the AI Daily Press Morning Podcast. And that completes our morning podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until this evening, I'm David Atanacha for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.